Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome to my show Connecting with Saima Parwaz. I hope all of you are doing great and waiting to see my another guest. My today's guest is another lawyer. Before I introduce you to my new guest, luckily I'm recording this show on 14th of August, Independence Day, Pakistan, and I'm so happy. Like we are celebrating 14th of August today in Pakistan, even in Canada, and let's talk to Mr. Abhijitt. Abhijitt, welcome to my show.
Hi, Saima. Thank you so much for having me, actually. It's an honor to be part of this show, and it's a privilege to share the same platform with you. Really touched. Thank you.
How was your commute?
The commute was good. Yeah.
So you're coming from downtown, right?
Yeah, downtown Toronto. So the commute was good, except the traffic was a bit challenging. But yes, that's always been the case from downtown. So yes,
You were
can't
on
complain
time.
much. Yeah, I was on time, luckily, because I left a little ahead of time, actually.
All right. So tell me about yourself. First of all, what made you to come to my show?
Well, I thought of come to your show because for the reason that I wanted to reach out to people to make them understand the journey that I have been through all this while, and to also get to people and connect with people that if I can do it, then so can they. So that was one of the reasons why I have come.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. So you belong to India, right?
Yes, pretty
much. And you came to Canada 3-4 years ago from India, right?
Yeah, about approximately 4 years back, I moved to Canada. And I would be very precise, like when talking about India, I am actually from eastern part of India and from a state called Odisha. And then I was born and partially raised there. And then I moved to Delhi, and where I did my academics and my pre-qualification experience also I gathered there. Then I moved to Canada, say about in 2019, around 2019, 2020.
Around pandemic time?
Yeah, along came the pandemic, actually.
All right. Okay, and how do you like Canada so far?
Canada has been...
It's a beautiful country.
It's a beautiful country. It's been extremely benevolent so far as I'm concerned, or my family is concerned, and no complaints yet. So I just love it.
Thank you for like my country. And now definitely it's your country too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So you're a lawyer from back home, right?
Yes.
And you have done some courses here. You have done some exams, right?
Yes.
So you're going to tell me which area in the law you were in India.
Okay, so I have about 17 years of post-qualification practice, like experience, I would say, in India. And in India as well, I was pretty much into banking and finance, predominantly. That is basically in this part of the world, they term it as corporate commercial law. So that is what has been my area of expertise or forte all this while. And when I moved here, as per Canadian laws, you have to be a Juris Doctor law in order to appear to to be called to the bar. So either you go through the entire process of a Juris Doctor law, or else there are some challenge exams that you need to face, which is conducted by a community which is called the NCA. So that is an accreditation exam that you have to give in order to qualify as a JD. So I chose to give the challenge exams conducted by the NCA. So, and I did fare well with that. So now I'm equivalent to a JD in Canada, and just waiting for my bar to be called to the bar.
All right, that's great. So I'm going to announce some free stuff after the break. We're just going to keep talking to Abhijitt. Abhijitt, why did you choose the career in law?
A career in law?
Yeah.
Well, it was actually based on a method of elimination, because you have to identify, whenever you're choosing a career, you have to understand the skill sets that you have and how you can engage those skill sets in real life, in your professional career, to excel actually. So that's what I was always been very opinionated and argumentative. And so I realized that law would be an apt choice of career for me. That's how law happened.
So, and who inspired you? Like someone in your friends, your family, your
In my
grandparents?
family, there has been lawyers actually. There has been lawyers in my family as well, and so they have been inspiring actually. Honestly, they have been inspiring. I won't shy away from saying that. But like, yes, it was a conscious decision that I also took. That like whether I want to go for law or not. It was actually like nobody actually pressurized me. It was a conscious decision, not at my end.
All right. So, so far, when you came to Canada, have you faced any challenges?
Well, challenges is part of life, I would say. Otherwise, it gets really boring.
Of course.
So, but like, and so is the case with me. So when I moved to Canada, I was pretty much, I wouldn't say like I wasn't decently placed in India. I was pretty much decently placed in India as well. But somewhere or the other, it reached to a plateau, or it hit a plateau in my career where I became very comfortable in whatever I was doing. So in order to just like push myself a little further, or like explore the challenges that life has in store for me, I made a decision, or like me and my wife, we made a decision to actually move to Canada.
That's great. And it's a
And
good decision, I'm sure.
it
Right?
worked really well, as I mentioned earlier as well. Like Canada has been extremely benevolent, and like every decision that I took in Canada actually worked in our favor. So no complaints.
So, how many courses or exams you have written
Okay, the
already
challenge exams. So,
for the law, right?
yes, for the law, for the NCAs actually, to be qualified as a JD, which is equivalency of a JD. So you have to give the exams are like the basic exams are 5, and it can go up to 11, and it totally depends upon the university or the experience that you have secured, and the marks that you have secured during your law journey in your back home country. So for me, luckily, it was only after the assessment, it came out I was only entitled to give only the 5 basic exams. So I gave those exams, and
Okay.
like it was thereafter, like it's been good. Like I was accredited as.
So, at some point, you will probably will write your bar exam, right?
Yeah, this year soon.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
That's
writing the
great.
bar exam, because like post the qualification as well, you need to gather some experience before you write them. So
Got
that's
it.
been the case.
Abhijit, you came pretty much in pandemic here, right?
Yes, pretty
Yeah.
much.
So, what were the challenges?
Like everybody else, the entire world faced actually the challenges during the
Of
pandemic,
course.
and so did we, because there were no jobs, there was restriction in like socializing, so everything became a bit of a challenge, like finding a house, finding a job, and like finding place for yourself. Everything was a bit of a challenge. But like in the midst of the entire challenge, like what we realized is like the challenges can be turned into something which is favorable for you. You
Of
can
course.
engage, or engage into something which will be beneficial for the better, for your better future. So that's exactly what we did. Like as like me and my wife, that's what we did. We engaged that time towards our personal growth, and like our skill sets, we tried to excel upon our skill sets, the existing soft skills that we had, so that once things starts opening up, or once we start receiving more opportunities, we would be ahead of the people, those who have not utilized that time to their best potential. So that's been the case with us. And like the challenge was from the standpoint of only finding a good job in an unlimited time frame. But like thankfully, because I we were also focused on experiencing, or like we were trying to multiply our skill sets, we were so focused on that. By the time that came to a point where it was we were able to excel upon our skill sets, we got our job opportunities, and that was also during the pandemic. So the question is not like you will not face challenges. The challenges would always remain constant. That's part of life. What is important is you keep on moving forward even with the challenges, because someday you have to, either you would break or the challenges would break.
That's a life, right?
Yeah, that's what life is. And like it's better that you break the challenges rather than challenges breaking you.
Of course.
So that's been the case with us.
All right. So that international lawyers are the people who likes to come here and who want to come here and want to settle down in their career. They want to start a career in law.
Mhm.
What is your advice? What you would like to
The-
any message? you
Yeah, the
wanna
first
convey?
thing is like they need to do their due diligence well. They need to understand that like what is the area of practice they are interested in and how to go about it. And like if they have identified, because there are various ways through which you can qualify yourself in this country. Like there are some universities offer LLM degrees, which once you complete them, then you become pretty much qualified to be called to the bar. There are also other ways, like you complete a complete JD course in Canada. Then there are NCS, which I did, writing the challenge exams. Of course, the writing the challenge exams becomes very challenging because you don't have any guidance and it is a self-study thing.
So in mostly my programs, we discuss about, is there any academy you know about the international lawyers in here in Ontario?
It's not academies, I would say, but there are tutorials, I would say, who are focused on contributing towards this particular fraternity. There are lawyers, those who are contributing towards the benefit of this particular fraternity, and you need to be part of those communities. There are a lot of communities which is there on the social media, and like you need to go to the Facebook and the Instagram, and there are like LinkedIn.
So they're ready to help, right?
Yeah, they are ready to help. They will not only impart the knowledge, they would also provide you with the course material, the ways, the form and manner in which you need to actually address a situation from the Canadian standpoint of answering a question. All of those things that they deal with, and they would expose you to all of that. But like for that, you have to make an effort to be a little tech savvy and like engage or be part of those kind of communities. Once you become part of those communities, things starts falling into place, and you have to give it some time before things completely materializes. But once you're part of that thing, that drill, you understand like, okay, one after the other things starts unfolding. So that's how it happens. And like as I mentioned, like there are communities which are paid, some communities are paid, some are unpaid. So you have to choose wisely which is the one that suits your requirement best and make a conscious decision
So
accordingly.
currently you are not practicing law, right? So are you missing, like what you missing most?
Well,
now?
practicing law, I would put it this way: because I was in India as well, I was into banking and finance. So going to the court wasn't much the case with me. It was more of a, like, the back end transactions that we were doing, like putting the documents or the transactions that investment bankers they do, putting the documents together for them, and for corporate houses, setting up documentation process for them, or the compliances or the procedures for them. And like same is the thing that I'm doing here as well. But like, yes, I do miss going to the courts at times, and which, of course, like once I'm called to the bar, I'm any which way entitled. I can do that any which way. It's just matter of time. But yes, you as a lawyer, you always love to be part of that, the courtroom drama that goes. So that's something that I miss. Yes.
So dear friends, we're gonna see after the break. Welcome back, everyone. I'm really enjoying talking to Mr. Abhijitt. Abhijitt, how are you doing?
Thank you very much. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Your answers are really good and they are very helpful. So
Thank you.
tell me, what are you doing currently? We were talking before the recording. You were doing some business, right?
Yeah, actually, we run a business consulting firm in Canada, and so we help international businesses and international entrepreneurs to come to Canada, establish their businesses here, and scale it up. We actually try to handhold them all throughout, walk that whole 9 yards with them so that they can go through the entire process of coming from a different country to an alien land and seamlessly go through that and establish themselves as well. So that's something that we do, which engages a lot of things. That engages like understanding the business, understanding their target audience, understanding what kind of revenue they are expecting and what exactly they can actually earn out of that business. What are their offerings as a business? What kind of investment documents they need to get into so that they can raise funding in the future? What kind of incorporation they should have so that they can add more expats like as directors also into the incorporation. All those things, including understanding from the standpoint of the Canadian laws, the taxation, the I would say the intellectual property, every single piece, because when you individually look at it, it's all fragmented pieces, but you need to put together all of them to make a particular company successful, and that depends upon a lot upon the right advice.
So you need the lots of law, like you need to know the laws, right?
Yes, the laws, the compliances, the regulations, in order to
Which
guide
is very
them.
helpful, whatever you have studied, right?
Yes, pretty much the experience that I have gathered, or like we have gathered as a team, as like my business partner, Mr. Dev. So we together, we have the experience that we have gathered back home, along with the team of Matrix. We try to engage all of that for the success of any business house, and that is actually the deciding factor for the success or the not so success of any business. Because even if your offerings are good, but you are launching your product in a place where you don't have any demand, then it's baseless. Or else, if you are offering something which has a regulation or a regulatory compliance which you have not complied with, then that would be the deal breaker. So in order to go through all that steps and like analyze and interpret every single piece and successfully handhold them towards the success of their business is what we do.
So what your business calls? Matrix Ventures,
It
right?
is Matrix Venture Studio Incorporation.
So Abhijitt, you guys have a physical location for your office, right?
Yes, we do.
And it's in downtown?
Yeah, it's in downtown Toronto. To be precise, the address is 325 Front Street West. It's just on the backside of Rogers Center, and it's pretty much a strategic location actually. We have our office on the second floor of that building.
So whoever is interested for the immigration and they want to bring their loved ones from back homes, or right, they need help, so they can Google your name and they
Oh,
can.
yeah, pretty much. They can pretty much, because business immigration is something where we help companies to come from outside Canada to set up something in Canada. But like obviously the immigration is a byproduct of that. So yes.
So your partner is, you have another partner, right?
Yes, Mr. Devrup Mitra. And like he's been, possibly you can say, he's been the Matrix Venture Studio Incorporation has been his brainchild actually primarily, and he's been pivotal for the success of this company all throughout.
Yes, probably in after a few months or a few weeks, he's gonna come and join me too.
Oh, that's
Yes.
excellent. That's
Yes.
excellent.
And
I'm sure like he would be doing a better job in explaining what we do and like how we help entrepreneurs as opposed to what I'm explaining.
yes, thank you very much for giving all this information. It's very helpful for all the Canadians and all the international, the people who are in different countries.
Yes, pretty much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So Abhijitt, tell me one thing.
Yeah.
Did you go back since you came to India?
Yeah. I went back like this year, January actually, and I'll be going back soon again because I pretty much keep that window of 1 month, 1.5 months.
Probably your parents are there, right?
Yes, my parents are there, my family members are there, my wife's family members and like parents are there. So we make it a point, like at least we visit like once a year. Yes, that wasn't the case when the pandemic was in full swing, of course, because the international borders were pretty much closed. So we didn't travel those 3 years, but like soon borders opened up. We pretty much incorporated that thing, that piece of principle into our chain of things, that like yes, we have to visit our parents and like family members every year.
So you went India and recently you came back from India and you have
Yes.
lived in Canada. What is the difference? What are few differences you have feel like?
Yeah, the differences were definitely there, and the differences were pretty glaring as well, because like there's in situated in two different continents altogether. So there were many differences, be that with the weather, be that with the weather condition, be that be the work-life balance, lot of things. So professionally, personally, I would say rather, personally, if I say, the difference would be the air quality that we have in India, or it's especially in Delhi, from where I moved, exactly where I was to Canada, the quality of air over there and the quality of air, of course, in Canada, the the quality of water that we get here as opposed to what we were exposed to when we were in Delhi, I would say. And yes, and professionally, I would say the work-life balance, the commitment towards your job, the professionalism definitely is little better on this side of the world as opposed to what I have seen in India. I would say like more so in Delhi region, because that's been the area or the region where I have been professionally engaged most of my life. So I won't say the other regions actually, but all in all, I would say both the countries have their advantages and disadvantages,
Of
both
course.
like any other country, and both the countries are beautiful in their own respect. So I think that's about it.
So whoever is watching today's show, what you have special for them? Do you have anything special for them? Any free consulting?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So every Wednesday, at least for 2 weeks, people can actually log into our website, book an appointment for half an hour for any business consulting and business immigration purposes, and either me or or our partner, Mr. Dev, would be conducting that session free of cost.
That's really great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's the least we can do actually towards the society.
This program has been sponsored by We Donate Foundation. We Donate Foundation is around for many years, and their food drive is open every Saturday at their one location. So, Mr. Abhijitt, tell me, what motivates you to be a businessman in Canada?
When I also moved to Canada with a lot of aspirations and everything in my mind and dreams, so I was under the impression like all that I needed was a good job and like work as an employee, and that's about it. But turn of events happened in a way that it took me to the other route, where I became ended up becoming an employer as opposed to an employee. So I'm talking about this because like this has been my journey pretty much in India as well, because in India I had no experience as an employer. I was all throughout my life I was an employee, and I never could actually perform at my optimum as an employee. I felt at one point like possibly I am not that good enough. So, but like eventually, when I became an employer here, when I look back actually those days, I now realize that I was never destined to be an employee, and that's why I performed better as an employer. I never performed better under anybody's supervision. So that's why I became an employer, and that was the scheme of things. That was the plan that the Almighty had for me, and which is why I became an employer. So there was no previous experience, nothing absolutely, just turn of events, and like things started like started falling into places all by itself. And like that's how I was exposed to this particular ecosystem of business immigration and ended up becoming an employer. So it was, आप ये कह सकते हैं कि लाइक जब कुछ नहीं काम करता, कुछ नहीं होता, तो मलाल होता है कि लाइक वो नहीं हुआ, पर बाद में पता लगता है कि वो नहीं हुआ, वो आपके बेहतरीन चीज़ के लिए ही नहीं हुआ। सो दैट्स बीन द केस विद अस।
Yes, understood. All right. So, what advice do you want to give to the young kids, the kids today, that this social media and this question I most of the time I ask to everyone, like what
Okay.
they are lost pretty much. They don't
Yeah.
want to study. They want to be, don't want to do anything. Just want everyone look for some easy way.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think so far as the new generation or the present generation is concerned, I think anything, any technology or any new invention or discovery that is happening, it is it is for a it is for a purpose in mind, like it has to be put to some good use. Okay. But most often than not, humans have this tendency to abuse it, then use it. So this is pretty much the case when it comes to the social media as well. The social media is basically was developed for a reason or a platform which will give enlightenment and like which will make people or the generations across the globe more uh, I would say more worldly wise towards each other. But like most often than not, what has happened now that they are so glued to those things which is not so important in life than things which are important in life. Actually, social media is a tool which can be used or which can be used for their best interest. But like most people use it otherwise, and in a way that like actually they get defocused, derailed from their actual goals, which is not something which is good. Be consumed with the social media, but like then compartmentalize your timings and your engagement into what you are putting into the hours you're putting into what. Like if something that you're reading or you're getting something out of it, then put maybe 2 hours to it. Just scrolling through those videos and all those reels and all those things, I would say like engage only 1 hour in a day for all that. Because if once you compartmentalize, once you identify your time slots, there is more discipline in your life and you are more focused or targeted towards your goal, which will help in the success of your career.
So, what do you do in your free time? Do you have any hobbies?
Well, I like to read. I catch up with some books, anything that I get hold of. And yes,
Which kind of books, like politics or?
no, like be that be literature, be that be fictional, non-fictional, anything. I'm okay with that. And yes, I do I do engage into a lot of reading with so far as the finance is concerned or business is concerned, because that's my area of expertise. So I want to be uh, updated every day. And other than that, like yes, I am a fitness person, and this is something that I advise to the next generation as well, that like health is wealth. So it, no matter whatever you do, don't just be glued to that mobile or the computer or the laptop or those tabs and all those things.
Devices.
Go out, play, engage into some physical activity. It will help you a lot.
And dear friends, as I promised in starting of the program, I will announce some free consultation from few of my lawyer friends. And Sari Immigration Law Firm is offering free 10 consultation to first 10 people. If you like to watch and like to see the principal lawyer, her name is Yamina Ansari, you can watch her previous shows with me. Medals Law Firm also offering 15 minutes free consultation. You can watch his previous shows with me on YouTube, and his name is Umar Khan. He's expert in immigration and real estate. Okay, Abhijitt, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good.
So, how did you like the show?
I thoroughly enjoyed the show, and thank you so much once again for having me over. And it's a matter of honor to be part of this show. Really means a lot.
You're welcome. And you guys also have Independence Day tomorrow, right?
Yes, that's correct. So India and Pakistan actually share their Independence Day in a gap of 1 day. So this
14th
is
August and 15th
yeah,
August,
that's
right?
true. And this is the 77th Independence Day. So this is for everyone out there. Happy Independence Day, India. Happy Independence Day, Pakistan. Spread love, not hatred. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My dear viewers, happy Independence Day to India, happy Independence Day to Pakistan. And whoever is, my dear friends and viewers, whoever is watching this show, please do justice with yourself, with your friends, with your countries, and take care of them and take care of your countries. And work hard, work smart. Take care. See you in my next episode. Pakistan, Zindabad.